Vice Chancellor Sir, Professor Dr. Chetan Trivedi Sir, respected EC members, respected Vice Chairperson Mr. NP Rajiv Sir, respected Principal and Professor, Research Scholar, and all my dear student as well as Facebook and YouTube viewers. I warmly welcome for everyone present in the interest of the entire SSIP cell committees. Bhakragavi Narsimeta University Junagadh is organizing a series of leadership talk under the flagship of the Center for Innovation and Startup to scout, engage, and nurture the best startup across the Gujarat region. This program includes a series of online interaction and guidance from experts looking towards our proficiency and experience in the field of innovation. The SSIP cells invite you to deliver a leadership talk on rural innovation in India in the very first session of leadership talk at Bhaktagavi Narsimeta University. It will be a great opportunity for teachers and students to learn and interact each others. The Center for Innovation Startups organized leadership talk constantly for the student to gain information and to be effectively associated with university exercise. I would like to invite Sri NP Rajiv Sir, Vice Chairperson, National Innovation Foundation in India, and Automation Institution under Department Science of Technology, Government of India, Executive Director Vibhavani and New Delhi. He is actively engaged in networking of grassroots developmental organizations through science and technology, intervention for social development, 25 years experience in senior managerial role in various industries, presently working as a consultant, enterprise strategy development and training, national network of voluntary social organized engaged in social development national buildings. Uh, I would to like invite to Sri NP Rajiv sir.
Good evening, all. Am I audible, sir?
Yes, sir.
Am I
Yes,
audible?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Chowda, and respected Vice Chairman, Vice Chancellor of University, Professor Chetan Trivedi, for inviting me for a talk on today's session. See, I am representing National Innovation Foundation, which is one of the National Institute for Innovation, not only innovation, but for the grassroots innovation. So I will just give a detail on what is grassroots innovation and also what is the scope for innovation in the rural entrepreneurship. National Innovation Foundation, which is headquartered in Ahmedabad, Gandhinagar, has been in the scenario of innovation ecosystem for the last 20 years. So what we are doing is we are primarily identifying the innovators who come from the non-formal education background and also from students who are solving the social problems, addressing certain issues through small technologies. We call it as cost-effective or frugal technology, which will be very cost-effective and simple and very socially reachable. So this is our strategy for identifying the social problems and finding out a solution which is called as social innovations. So last 20 years, we were trying to document, identify the innovators, and with the help of our technology background, we will develop a prototype. So the third phase of a National Innovation Foundation activity is we will identify the appropriate innovative technologies and we will develop with the help of the technology background institutes which are spanning across the nation. And we will develop a prototype which is very much industry compatible or validated by the industry standards. After that, we will apply for the intellectual property rights of the innovator. And once this is over, we will try to get the innovative technology to the university and also to the industry, so that the people can improvise on the design and also commercialize. So right from the idea to inception, National Innovation Foundation has been supporting those innovations which has an impact on the grassroots. So National Innovation Foundation basically focuses on the grassroots innovations. So what is grassroots innovation, or rather we call it as inclusive innovation, meaning it will try to solve the social issues which is addressed by the some small technologies which can be very much cost effective and also replicable. This is one of our approach. Secondly, we are trying to find out solutions related to agriculture, food industry, even household problems also. We are trying to scout the innovators and support them. Most of our innovators who have been successful have been even granted the Padam Shri or even some higher awards from the President of India. Every year we are having an innovation and entrepreneurship conducted in our NIF campus, and mostly the President of India addresses, and some of our innovators are recognized through awards. And also some of the farmer innovators are also now working as visiting professors, the farmers being visiting professors in the Krishi Vigyan Kendras. So that is one of the achievement, how the grassroots people with the knowledge of how to tackle the social problems, how leadership from the grassroots can effectively change the society. So leadership in essence means those people who can take an initiative, who can take up the challenges, who can take up the risk and provide some solutions. So this is called a grassroots leadership program by the NIF, and it has been successful for the last 20 years, and it has generated an ecosystem that innovation and leadership has become the norm of the current scenario. I am glad that India was in the 83rd position some 5 years back in the International Innovation Index. Now we have climbed up to 52nd position. So around 30 points we have climbed up out of the 122 nations all over India. But that is not something which is to be satisfied with, because India is a large country and a big economic power now. So innovation and rural entrepreneurship has to be developed so much that we have to cope up with the economic rise of our nation. So inclusive innovation and rural entrepreneurship has a greater role to play, because once our economy is one of the third biggest economic power in the world, our normal man's life, the ordinary man's life also should be transformed. For that, only two things are to be needed. One is innovation from the grassroots and technology interventions for the rural entrepreneurship. This is what NIF is trying to do. I am glad that around 432 entrepreneurs were supported by our venture capital fund. We are supporting the innovators through a venture capital fund by which they can convert their innovative technology into some commercial products. And we were successful in supporting around 432 entrepreneurs who have taken the innovative technologies forward. So it has around 1.5 lakhs of innovative technologies are now digitalized. So one of the contribution of NIF in the rural entrepreneurship is we have digitalized around 1.5 lakh technologies, and we have uploaded it in our portal also. So any of you if you want to see what are the innovative technologies available and which is addressing some social problems, you are welcome to visit our website, and you can even search sector wise also, that is which is related to some rural technology, agriculture, water management, waste management. So many sectors are also classified. So it becomes easy for an entrepreneur to identify the appropriate technology and convert it into some production center. So this is one area where we are very strong. And another area is, we have a lot of traditional knowledge in our country. But the problem is the traditional knowledge end with the traditional practitioner. So National Innovation Foundation is trying to identify the traditional knowledge practitioners, document their traditional knowledge, and make it compatible with the modern times. For example, mostly in the herbal medicine, we have developed so many drugs. By NIF is having tie-up with CCRA, that is Central Council for Ayurveda Research, and we are developing some drugs from the traditional practitioners of herbal healing. So we are scientifically converting the traditional knowledge into some drug which can be practiced and which will be useful all over India. Especially in the COVID times, we have developed so many drugs which are helpful in developing our immunity and also metabolism. So we have rich traditional knowledge in the herbal medicine, and there are a lot of practitioners. Also in the agriculture and water resources, also resources management, we have very rich traditional knowledge. So what NIF is doing is, we are trying to identify such traditional knowledge, document it, and develop it into something which is applicable in the modern times. So that way we are trying to control, not only controlling, we are trying to safeguard the traditional knowledge across the various sectors. So two sectors are there, especially in the NIF's mandate. One is those innovative technologies which can solve the social problems. Another is traditional knowledge which has been developed over a time. And India or the Bharat is having a lot of traditional knowledge across the sector. We are trying to protect it, conserve it, and make it useful to the modern society. So these two aspects has a lot of impact on how we can develop the rural entrepreneurship. Now our Prime Minister is very much pertinent on the Atmanirbhar Bharat. You all know about that. Even Gandhiji also said about the Swashray Gram Swaraj and other things. So these concepts have to be translated with the help of innovative technologies, which are very much frugal technologies, which are very much cost effective. These frugal technologies or cost effective technologies will be useful to the common man, so that it can solve the problems of the life. So life saving solutions are needed, and it has to be converted into an enterprise model for its sustainability. So rural entrepreneurship, cost effective technologies will help in the creating Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now recently NIF has developed a herbal toy. Recently there was a call for developing the toys from our own traditional knowledge. So NIF, one of the innovator in Hyderabad, he has developed a herbal toy, and it has been developed and designed by National Institute of Design also, so that these herbal toys will be eco-friendly, biodegradable, and it is not based on the plastics. So how to find out some eco-centric, ecologically compatible products, that is also one area which can be developed so much. So waste management and how to convert the waste into wealth, that is one important area. How to utilize our herbal the biodiversity, so that we can solve so many issues which are related to health, and also come out with some products also. So these are certain innovative thoughts which will help in retaining our Atmanirbhar Bharat and also supporting the rural entrepreneurship. So National Innovation Foundation has been very much in the forefront in combating the COVID also. Some of our innovative technologies based on the tractor, which is converted into a mass sanitizer, and that innovator was very much addressed, especially mentioned by our Prime Minister also in his Mann Ki Baat. So how that farmer could convert his tractor into a mass sanitizer, that is called innovative technology from the grassroots. So if our students and faculties from the universities join hands with the grassroots innovators, we can take the ideas from the real life and support it through science and technology with your academic and research background. So there needs to be a tie-up between the universities, colleges, and the academicians, and also the grassroots innovators who are really addressing the real life problems. So there needs to be a bridging between the science and the masses. Our respected Science and Technology Minister Dr. Harshavardhanji always used to say, science for masses. We need to have a science movement, science mass movement in our nation, meaning whatever science and technology is there, it is not for the classrooms or for the lab. It has to be taken to the land. So from lab to land, we have to take it forward through through a consortium model or through a collaboration between the university and the grassroots innovators, and also there are a lot of developmental organizations working with the people. So there needs to be a synergy between the various stakeholders. That is called inclusive innovation. So inclusive innovation means those people who wants to transform our nation, create a new India, needs to come together. There need not be any isolated work, because nowadays most of the academic works are going on in isolation. The research is going on in isolation, and our grassroots problem is there without any solutions. So how we can bridge all these gaps? That is one important area, and that is called inclusive innovation and inclusive development. So now the call is for inclusive innovation and rural entrepreneurship. By next 10 years, at least by 2030, if we can work together, our nation can become one of the biggest economy in the world with a lot of inclusive development, which means the last man in the street will also be beneficiary of the development. So of course our GDP will rise. We will be a $5 trillion economy very soon. But we are very much concerned about the 130 crores of our people, those who are in the rural area, those who are in the who are not connected with the benefits of the development. So National Innovation Foundation, along with the various universities, academics, researchers, and also grassroots developmental organization, is trying to bridge the gap between the various stakeholders. So I suggest one or two things before this August audience of students, faculties, deans, and vice chancellor is also here. I am very glad that such a academic and a lot of developmental organization are also hearing this program. So I think there needs to be a collaborative approach between the various stakeholders. That is one point, number one. Secondly, problem identification. How we can solve the social problems. That is very important. So first we have to document what are the social problems in each area. India is a very diverse nation. So we have geographical and climatic differentiation is there, socio-economic diversity is there. So we have to find out what are the problems that need to be addressed. So how these innovative ideas or creative mind can find out some social problems, which means social innovation has a great role to play. So that will be the leadership call for all the ordinary persons, students, and faculties. Leadership doesn't mean that something which is coming above all everyone. It has to come from the grassroots. Every leader has, even if you call the Gandhiji's life, if you call any of the leaders, Abraham Lincoln, or those tall leaders, they have come from the grassroots. If you consider the life of Dr. Abdul Kalam, he came from an ordinary background, and he was even distributing newspaper while during his student days. From that small beginning, he became our President of India and our missile man and our leading visionary. So leadership means there are various type of leadership also. I will just give you some idea on the leadership. There are various styles of leadership. One is manipulative leadership, means they will try to solve certain issues or manage certain situations. That is the leaders which we find normally. So they will try to solve this on a temporary basis. That is called a manipulative leadership. They have just manipulated the situation to their advantage. Second is transactional leadership, which means a win-win situation that both the parties will be benefited. We want transformational leadership, or disruptive leadership means there will be change, overall change in the various scenarios. So our Prime Minister have been a very transformative leadership. He has changed the situation which were going on in the nation for so long, and he has given a vision for our nation for a new India. So what is the essence of that vision is how our technologies, innovative technologies, can address social problems. During the COVID time also, we were having a lot of problems in finding the mask and also sanitizers, and also even the testing the COVID also, we didn't have sufficient machineries. But now we have become self-sufficient, and even our vaccine is going to be distributed all over the world. So India has large potential of intellectual property, human resource, and natural resource. So how we can utilize all these resources, intellectual resources, natural resources, and also the other resources like infrastructure and other human resources. So how to bring all these so that we can provide a solution to our nation, and the nation building will also be transforming the whole scenario and taking a lead. India will lead the world within 5 years or 10 years. So that is the vision which we have to keep in mind. As students and teachers or researchers, we have to focus on those technologies which can address the social problem. I just a last word from my side. Unless you think the society first, unless you think the ordinary man, whenever you choose some idea or take some decision, it will not be useful. Even Gandhiji also used to say, whenever you are taking a decision, you have to consider whether it is going to help the ordinary man. Our Prime Minister is also very pertinent that it should reach to the beneficiaries. So he has been trying to develop so many ways and means by which by a greater speed can be provided, speed and also scale. Both these two things are needed. The speed is needed, the scale of activity is needed, and last but not the least, the synergy between the various people. So I would suggest that 3S is needed: scale, speed, and synergy. These three things will take the nation forward. That is called leadership. So who is going to take the leadership? Each one of us. Who is going to provide the Atmanirbhar Bharat? Each one of us. It is not somebody else from the other side. So we have to think what we can do from our side. Every individual, as Swami Vivekananda had said, every individual is potentially divine, because we have the strength inside. So how to explore our innovative mind, how to explore our creative mind, how to keep the society before everything, that is the most important thing. So the innovativeness, the creativeness that will solve the societal problem is going to take India to be the #1 nation in the world within 10 years. So I suggest that you put yourself a target of 10 years and you break down it into 5 year, 3 year, 2 year, and 1 year, so that each individual can have a planning that how you are going to contribute for the development of the society, how your intellectual, academic, and also the life experience can be utilized, so that at least you can find one solution for a nearby social problem. If each one of us takes that leadership, that itself become an effective leadership. So that is called effective leadership in my concerns. And also we need to have institution with leadership skills. So Dr. Abdul Kalam also used to say we need to have enabling institution and leadership institutions, where the institution itself will have a very conducive ecosystem, innovative ecosystem, by which the leaders will emerge and they will find sustainable solutions for the institution and the society. So that is my simple suggestion for before this August audience. And I thank once again for the University Vice Chancellor, Dr. Chowda, and all others who have assembled here and invited me. And I would like to hear some more interactions, and I will continue in this meeting, so that if some questions are there, also I would be glad to address that. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I would to like invite Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, Professor Dr. Chetan Trivedi, sir.
Very good afternoon to all of you. Bhakta Kavi Narasimha University Center for Innovation and Startup is in a high swing to organize such talks, where we are calling expert innovators, people like Rajiv ji is the Vice Chairperson of National Innovation Foundation of India. I personally welcome you, sir, to this university because we are, even
Thank
though
you.
very new, but not small. Our university is spread over 4 districts: Porbandar, Dwarka, Junagadh, and Gir Somnath, and we have almost more than 1 lakhs of students. And I have observed that there is a lots of potential as far as the innovation and startup is concerned among the students of this part. In pure Kathiawadi, you may call it Kotha Suj. There is one Gujarati word which is known as Kotha Suj. That Kotha Suj is what we call the inner strength, inner understanding, and that is the birthplace of innovation. And today you have almost all initiated wonderful topics. I am sure that there are several people joined with us. They are not only students, but innovators, startup creators. They may be from Bhaktagavi Narsimha University, some from other universities of India, some might be from Krishi University also. Today, way in which you have started talking about social innovation, I really liked the concept in which you initiated the talk of social innovation and how this technocrat and people of technology may try to be the part of some of the social problems and addressing of the social issue. Especially in earlier time, people were very much dedicated that only research can be done in the higher sciences or cognitive sciences of the applied sciences branches. But in a new coming days, in the new coming areas, the students or the people related or associated to the humanities branches, commerce and management branches, agriculture branches, they have so many social issues to address. They can go and they can, with the help of the technology, may create prototype or patent also. And when you talked about science for mass, ultimately, when we all are talking about Atmanirbhar Bharat, we all are talking about our own strength. We all are talking about our vocal to global, our local to vocal and vocal to global. In that scenario, we have to focus over, most probably in our 4 of the districts, we have tremendous strength and capacity and possibility for the development of the rural agricultures. And so many committed people are working with the agriculture areas also. So in coming days to come, I expect from Startup and Innovation Center of this university, especially Karan, Brunal, Dinesh, Parag and team, that we have to look forward for several new innovations coming from the students community. It should be connected to the root, because the problems which are connected to the root, that will going to give a definite solution to the so many big problems. So I'm very happy to see this talk today, and I'm sure the students and the teachers and the researchers who have been the part of this talk must have been benefited by the original, innovative and very spontaneous ideas of Mr. Rajiv ji. Once again, I congratulate to all, and I stop here myself. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. On the behalf of Bhaktakavi Narsimha University Center for Innovation and Startup, I extend a really heartily what a thanks to our expert speaker, Sri MP Rajiv sir, who spread time from his busy schedule to grace the occasion. He expressed view of graceful program, rural problems, Atmanirbhar Bharat, economic power, social problems, and various types of leadership, IPR, effective leadership and innovative ecosystem. In addition, students will also be trained on how to improve their social and technical skill. The agenda of the leadership talk will include debate, encouragement through various expert and real life example. Thank you, sir. I would like to express my thanks to Professor Dr. Chetan Trivedi, sir. Thank you, sir.
Dr. Chawda.